Warning. All females should leave the room at this time. This is a guy video. Man talk. Please come back in 10 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation.
Is the coast clear?
Yeah, hit the play button.
Give a big smile for Dave.
Yeah.
What is a dad supposed to do? Let's face it, breastfeeding is not exactly a guy topic.
It's never really come up in conversation, I guess. Up until the point of having a baby, I had never really had any reason to talk to anyone about breastfeeding at all.
Since you're going to be a new dad yourself, now you have a really good reason to talk about it. And the reasons for breastfeeding may surprise you. Many studies have found that the father was the most influential factor in the mother's feeding decision. Researchers also found that fathers of bottle-feeding infants had less knowledge of breastfeeding, including the benefits for the infant. So, what's a dad supposed to do?
I would highly recommend to do the research to find out what exactly breast milk has to offer that formula doesn't have to offer.
Up next, 5 great reasons to breastfeed. Then we'll tackle 3 major concerns that you may have about your partner breastfeeding. Later, what dads can do to help and support their breastfeeding partner, besides changing the dirty diapers. And finally, we'll hear some encouraging words from some very special dads who have been there and done it with no regrets. Stay tuned!
Here's some interesting news. Doctors, researchers, and even infant formula companies all agree that breast milk is better than anything that you can get out of a can. There is no doubt breastfeeding provides the best first food for your baby. It's always just the right temperature, ready to serve, and you don't have to deal with leftovers. Only from breast milk does your newborn receive the perfect blend of vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, and proteins. Unlike baby formula, breast milk is so easy to digest that breastfed babies won't have constipation. Your baby will thank you for that one. And diapers of breastfed babies smell a whole lot better than those from formula babies. You'll be thankful for that one. Your baby is born with very little defense against diseases. Breast milk is your baby's first immunization shot. Each time your partner breastfeeds, she is providing antibodies and living immune cells which protect your baby from many infections and intestinal diseases. Breastfeeding also helps to prevent allergic diseases. But don't just take my word for it. Here's a world-renowned physician who literally wrote the book on breastfeeding.
Well, the breastfed infant is healthier. The breastfed infant has fewer visits to the doctor, has fewer episodes of illness that require antibiotics. We know that infections are greatly reduced in infants who are breastfed, specifically diarrhea, ear infections, pneumonia, meningitis.
Well, one thing I would tell new dads about breastfeeding is that number one, it's very good for the child's immune system.
The baby getting the nutrients from mom, you get better immune systems, less obesity, there's higher intelligence rates.
Whoa, wait a minute, hit the brakes, hold up. Higher intelligence rates? Yeah, you heard right. Medical studies continue to show that breastfeeding leads to higher IQ tests for your child.
The human brain doubles in size in the first year of life. We feel that the best nutrient for brain growth is actually human milk. There are several constituents in human milk that do not exist in formula, and therefore it's not surprising that the breastfed baby scores better on intelligence tests when they've had the advantage of such good nutrition.
See, breastfeeding is smarter. I know I got your attention now. Yeah, it's true. You can save literally thousands of dollars if you and your partner decide to breastfeed.
Breastfeeding has been identified as a cost saving, and in fact, we say that breastfeeding is a step toward lowering health costs. And the number of visits to the doctor, the number of medications, the costs, including the drugs at the drugstore, have shown that in the first year of life, for instance, over $1,000 is saved in healthcare costs by breastfeeding.
One of my wife's best friends did formula, did not breastfeed, and their babies have had ear infections, a lot of them. And we've talked to people who have breastfed their babies and have not had the ear infection problem.
One of the basic reasons we've decided to breastfeed was basically the financial cost. It's cheaper than buying the formula, and we had fewer doctor's visits.
Breastfeeding doesn't just help your newborn. Breastfeeding is a proven health benefit for the mom. Medical studies have shown that breastfeeding provides risk reduction and increased prevention against obesity, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and uterine cancer. All this when you support your partner to breastfeed.
But there's more!
Breastfeeding helps your partner heal faster after childbirth with less bleeding. And it can help mothers return more quickly to their pre-pregnancy weight. Breastfeeding is a very relaxing time for mother and child. A very special bond takes place. A breastfeeding baby is content. A breastfeeding mother is content. And when baby and mother are content, you're content too.
There is nothing more peaceful or comforting than watching your child nursing with their mother.
I can tell you, I will always remember the time my wife do the breastfeeding. This is really peaceful, and for both my wife and the baby. You cannot buy this kind of moment.
There are a number of reasons why men are not supportive of breastfeeding.
Meet Dr. Pamela Jordan. She has studied the effects of breastfeeding on men for over 20 years, and she has heard every reason in the book for dads not to support breastfeeding. Here's one excuse why some dads will say no way to breastfeeding their newborns.
Often it's because they see the breasts as sexual organs as opposed to feeding centers. It's like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to share this playground with someone else.
I can understand why some dads think that, maybe it's because our society has emphasized on breast as a sexual thing more than it is on something that is in a level of being more natural, and that is there for a purpose, and the purpose is to have healthy families.
So what's a dad supposed to do?
And we've talked about that up front, and I think that's another good thing to do that I tell dads is, you're going to have a talk with mom and say, I know that these are for the baby mostly right now, but I'd still like to see him every once in a while.
Here's another excuse.
Men think that if a woman breastfeeds, it's going to change the appearance of her breasts. That if she breastfeeds, she's going to have these stretch marked, saggy breasts, not these nice, perky breasts that, she has at this point. Doesn't want her body to change.
So what's a dad supposed to do?
Guys, if you want your wives to go back to their pre-pregnancy weight sooner, breastfeed. It burns an additional 800 calories a day for mom. So she doesn't even have to work out and she's losing the calories. So if you're concerned about how she looks after pregnancy, breastfeeding is the way to go.
And another excuse.
Often men will believe that if the mom is the only one who can feed the baby, that is going to keep him from developing a relationship with the child.
So what's a dad supposed to do?
You don't need breasts to bond with a baby. That's just one aspect of it, and she bonds with you in entirely different ways.
One of the main ways is bath time. I'm in charge of giving her baths, basically. My wife has done it a few times, but I've been almost the sole bath time provider. So it's an excellent time for us to bond.
Hey buddy, you gonna look at Dad?
Talking to your baby, singing to your baby, playing with your baby, making eye contact, spending time with the baby. It doesn't need to include feeding.
I sing to her, you know, I make up my own nursery rhyme. She falls asleep, she coos. You definitely can bond if you take the time to.
And fellas, listen to this. Believe it or not, fathers can do something that mothers can't. Check it out. Dr. Lawrence calls fathers the non-nutritive cuddler. And here's why. When the baby has been fed but is still fussy, dad is better at cuddling the baby because he doesn't smell of milk. So the baby settles right down. On behalf of all dads, I must say that's pretty righteous. And Dr. Jordan believes that fathers can bond with their baby even before they are born.
It's even believed that the baby knows dad's voice better than he knows mom's voice when he's born, because dad's voice comes in from the outside. Mom's voice rumbles down through the body. And even at birth, you can take a newborn baby and you can hold them. You can have dad on one side. You can have non-dad male on the other side. And if they take turns talking to the baby, first the baby will turn its eyes towards dad and then will turn its face towards dad. Now that's pretty powerful validation to a dad that he's somebody important. That baby doesn't turn to the other male, that baby turns to dad.
One of the things that a father can do is to be there for the breastfeeding mom when things aren't going very smoothly. The father can do the best good for the family by being strong at that time and holding everybody together, keeping mom optimistic about it, and to keep doing it and to not to give up, because it is easy to drop a bottle of formula in the baby's mouth and just say, well, we tried. A good college effort, but the benefits of sticking with it are definitely worth it.
I help out my wife wherever I can, whether it's jumping in and holding him so she can do something that she hasn't had a chance to do all day, or if she needs to breastfeed, I can step up to the plate and take care of the things that need to be done around the house.
Washing the dishes, taking care of pets, paying the bills, taking care of things that you may not be excited about, but understand that she's taking care of something that's important to you, and that's your child.
In the end, it is your choice what you feed your baby. Supporting your partner to breastfeed is clearly more than a lifestyle choice. It is a significant health decision with lifelong benefits.
You won't regret it, not one bit. It's a beautiful picture of what life is supposed to be like.
It's a magical moment, and in some ways it's nice not to have to do it, so I can stand outside of that and observe it because it's really beautiful.
This right here, this is special. You can't put a price, you can't put words to the emotions that we feel here, you can't put words to the emotions you feel as parents.
My wife loves to breastfeed, and I'm supportive of that because I know it's best for our baby and because I have been able to find other ways to bond with her.
The way that I look at it, breastfeeding has got so many good things about it for the baby, for the mother, and for the dad.
There's so many advantages with your child being happy and healthy. It's not just an emotional advantage, but there's a cost advantage. There's going to be a lot less stress on you as a dad because your children are healthy and happy.
Yeah, that's great.